frictional force? Frictional force is a force that is created whenever two surfaces move or try to move across each other. There are two basic types of frictional force. We have those that arises from static friction and those arising from kinetic friction. Okay? So basically, if you have a body, okay, and we say that if you apply a force here, there is a force that opposes the applied force, and this is what we call your frictional force. Okay, and we say that your frictional force is simply equal to mu times normal force. Okay, and mu here is what we call your coefficient of friction. Okay, and coefficient of friction depends upon the material of the object. Okay, so when mu is 0, that means there is no friction. When mu is 0.5, that means the frictional force equals half the normal force. And when mu is equal to 1, that means frictional force equals the normal force. Okay, so this is our frictional force. So let's say we have an object here of mass m, okay, and it's moving to the right, and this is our frictional force. And let's say this object is lying horizontally, okay, and the mass of the object is equal to 10 kilograms, okay, where m equals 10 kilogram. And let's say that the body is moving at constant velocity, so mu k is equal to 0.1 here. Okay, so what is the applied force? Okay, so what is the push force, or what we call the applied force? Okay, F. So this is the question. So we apply Newton's first law, summation of forces along x equals 0, and we say that Kabir F minus small f is simply equal to 0. So our applied force is simply equal to our frictional force. Okay, so using summation of forces along y equals 0, we say that our normal force minus the weight is simply equal to 0, and our normal force is simply equal to mg. Therefore, our normal force is simply equal to the mass 10 kilograms times 9.8. So our normal force is simply equal to 98 newtons. Okay, so coming back here in this equation, our F is simply equal to mu times normal force. So our frictional force is 0.1 times 98 newtons. Okay, so our frictional force is simply equal to 9.8 newtons. So the frictional force is simply equal to F, which is simply equal to the applied force.